Hello, my name is Kana, and I'm going to talk about cage-free eggs versus conventional eggs and their similarities. Hens that are used for laying eggs before they are used for meat are held in many different conditions. The two different conditions I'm going to explain are cage-free and conventional. Here are some short definitions. Cage-free eggs come from hens that do not live in cages and are able to walk around and lay eggs in some type of building. Conventional eggs come from hens that are kept in cages after they are bought and delivered from hatcheries. Now let's really get into the hen of it all. Are cage-free hens really free? This is a common question, and the answer is no, they are not really free. Cage-free hens may not be kept in cages, but they are kept in partially dark, compacted units. Almost 12% of cage-free hens die prematurely, which is about twice as much as caged hens. The causes of their deaths include excessive pecking, broken bones, and cannibalism. Hens usually end up excessively pecking at each other because they have the ends of their beaks burned off. Their beaks are usually for digging in the dirt and as a defense mechanism, but because they are all crammed into a building, they peck each other. The broken bones can occur from the hens trying to run around in the tight spaces and from stepping on one another. Chickens have a bad habit of mimicking each other, so if one starts to eat another chicken, then the rest of them will usually follow along. This causes an outbreak in cannibalism in the building, and eventually all the chickens will kill each other. Well, at least until they are stopped or there is one left standing, as in survival of the fittest. Disposing of chicken waste is another factor to take into consideration when looking at the different types of conditions hens are held in. When the cage-free hens poop, it just goes on the floor beneath them and they walk all through it and roll in it. So hygiene is also a concern for the health of the hens and their eggs. This type of holding unit makes it harder for workers to find the eggs within all the hens and their poop. Normally chickens would clean themselves and rub the bad stuff such as parasites off by rolling around in sawdust or straw. But because of their waste being all over the floor, they are instead rolling around in it. Once the hens are done laying all the eggs they can, they are brought out of the building and it is cleaned for the new hens that will be brought in. The eggs produced by cage-free hens cost 30 to 40% more than traditional egg prices. There is more labor put into cage-free systems. Therefore, the labor cost is higher than normal egg systems. This is what causes the cage-free eggs to cost more. The advantages of cage-free systems are not only the space for the hens to walk around, but also are allowed straw and sawdust to make their own nests for laying. By allowing the hens to walk around, their bones are allowed to strengthen more than in conventional systems. Also, an advantage is that they are able to stretch their legs out, whereas conventional kept hens normally have their legs dangling from the holes in the cages. Now let's discuss conventional eggs. Conventional just means that the hens producing the eggs are kept in cages. These are your typical eggs that you buy in a store. The cages that the hens are kept in are about as big as a piece of paper, which does not allow the hen much room to move around. Fun fact, the cages are called battery cages. There can be as low as 3 hens per cage, but also there can be up to 20 per cage, depending on their sizes. Hens normally like to lay their eggs in private and in a nest, but because of the cages, they have to lay them on the wire cage so that the egg can fall through onto a conveyor tray. The tray that moves the eggs is right underneath the conveyor tray that has the hens' food on it. So the hens are provided food and water at all times. Hens are just not allowed their own personal space. The advantage to cage systems is better elimination of spreading diseases. Where cage-free hens are able to kick up dust and send diseases through the air, caged chickens are not allowed to do that. Also, being in cages keeps them from pecking each other excessively and keeps them from eating each other. There are also many similarities between the two. Now let's look at the similarities between these two egg systems. Both of the hens in these systems get their beaks burned off. Burning the beaks off is meant to help them keep from hurting one another. As stated earlier, the hens can get bored and start to peck at each other excessively. Both systems usually buy their chickens from hatcheries that kill the male chicks right after they hatch, because they are more interested in the hens so they can lay eggs. Research shows that in the United States alone, there are more than 200 million male chicks killed in hatcheries each year. Cage-free and caged hens are both killed at less than 2 years old, which is a lot less than their usual lifespan. They are killed because they have finished their laying stage and are now used as meat. So there are clearly a lot of similarities between the two, along with many different advantages and disadvantages. Here are some delightful pictures to end with and some points to remember. Cage-free eggs come from hens that are not kept in cages, but are kept in tightly packed buildings. Conventional eggs come from hens that are kept in cages after coming from a hatchery. Last but not least, both of these systems have a lot of similarities, such as burned off beaks. All in all, chickens are going to become food for your dinner table, unless you do not eat meat or eggs. Even if you do not eat eggs and meat from chicken, there are many other products that come from them. Cakes, brownies, cookies, pillows, and many similar things are all products that can also come from eggs or the feathers off of the chicken. If you would like more information about what kind of system your chicken or eggs come from, then contact the United States Department of Agriculture at either their website, www.usda.gov, or their phone number, which is 202-720-2791.